Hey guys, Derek here. I'm going to talk about my demonic encounters. I think actually when we hear about this stuff, since we know what it means, I don't know about you, but for me it kind of excites me oddly because it makes me more motivated to like take action to save people from the dark evils that exist out there. Man, I meet people sometimes and they're talking about all the evil in the world and they're so discouraged when they don't have truth. It's like, how can you be happy if you don't see the good that prevails over all the evil out there? I can see why some people are depressed. I can see why some people are living in fear if they don't see who is on our side. um, I was inspired to make this video by some recent news in Miami and in Las Vegas, some police cam footage in Las Vegas, and other stuff talking about creatures that people are seeing, like these tall creatures that are also biblical called Nephilim. I don't know if it's true. I'm kind of open-minded about, could be true, could not be true, um, but it just inspired me to make this video. So uh, I'll just tell you my story first, so you can watch that, and then I'll just give you my insight about it, how I see it differently than I saw it before. But basically, when I was 13 years old, I was sleeping, right? And then I heard this voice. I didn't hear it audibly, but I heard it. I remember it was like in my heart, I heard it. And the voice said, "There's a monster in your room," which is weird because I don't normally think in that way. Monster? I don't know. It seemed like it was talking down to me in a way because I'm not like, I wasn't that young. I was 13, right? Anyway, but I woke up. It woke me up. And I looked to my left and I had my alarm clock and it said 3:03. And then I looked to my right and then I saw this thing that was like a white sheet that looked like boxes stacked up. There's a white sheet over it. Looked like some boxes stacked up in the middle of my room. My first thought was like, did my dad just come in and put boxes up and like put a sheet over it? And my second thought was, wait, my door's been closed. My dad never does anything like that. And then my third thought was, oh crap, this is a ghost. And then my fourth thought, like all this is happening really fast, right? As I did a double take, because I remember I did a double take. The fourth time I looked at it, I thought, that's a really cliche ghost. And then I'm like, wow. And then the fear kicked in, and then I covered myself with my covers, and my heart was racing, and I was waiting for about, it felt like 2 hours or something, trying to work up the courage to look. And I finally looked, and there was nothing there. It was silent, but there's nothing there. And then I worked up more courage, and I ran to my parents' house. My parents' room, and I tried to wake them up and tell them what happened, and they were just like, "Go to bed. What are you talking about?" Okay, so then, yeah, I tried to tell them about it. They didn't really believe me. They thought it was whatever, ABC. A year later, I woke up again, and this time my alarm clock was on that side of my room. No, no, no. Okay, so how do I explain? This is my room. The first time my bed was here, my alarm clock was here. Wait, actually no. My bed was here, my alarm clock was here, and then the ghost was here. The second time I had moved my bed like this, and then this is my room, right? My alarm clock was here. So I woke up and the ghost was walking around. At first I saw my alarm because you naturally kind of look at the clock when you wake up. I look at the clock, 3:03 again. This ghost is walking around. I just saw him walk like this because I was looking down and like I looked through my sheets and I saw the clock and then I looked and saw this thing moving, right? Covered myself. This time I was like a year older, a little more mature. It took only like an hour for me to look down, and then I thought I heard something on my porch because my room is right next to my porch, and I was like, I remember yelling like, "Get out!" But I wasn't yelling that loudly. And then I tried again. I was like, "Get out! Go away!" And then the noise stopped, but it could have been anything. I don't know. So yeah, I didn't know what that meant until it was weird. I was actually like in my 30s and I was pitching a horror film, which I already made. It was kind of inspired by that encounter. Uh, but I was pitching it to a producer, and I told him about my ghost story. And he told me, like, oh, 303 is a time when people see ghosts. And I was like, really? And I looked on the internet, and yeah, sure enough, that's when people see ghosts a lot. And then I was thinking about the whole idea of the boxes and the shape or whatever. And it was about this time too when I was thinking about that. And when I was writing my script too for Woman on the Chair, available in Amazon Prime Video now. Um, I remember like, wait, what if it was like it had no head? And that's why it was shaped like this, like there was no head, so it was just shoulders. Okay, so that was when I was 13 or maybe 12 and 13 or 13, 14. So when I was 16, no, 17. 17. When I was 17, I was I was talking to God. I was asking him something, but my motive was very much selfish. It was very much, I was living in idolatry. This is a very important story because a lot of people end up doing this and they end up having something matter more than God. And God doesn't answer prayer when we're in that place, when we're asking, like if we claim to know truth about what he did for us and we're asking for something out of not living in that truth at all, like why would he want to entertain that? We're like basically tying his hands. Like he doesn't want to answer prayer. So there was these two, there was this girl that I was like in love with, and she had a twin sister. And I asked God, do you want me, okay, so I asked God, do you want me to have a girlfriend? And then this time I wrote it down. I don't know why. I wrote it down. And then like I heard this audible voice and it scared me because I was closing my eyes and I heard this voice. I remember exactly where it came from. It came from right here. And it was this voice that was like low. It was low pitch and it was like, yes, like that. And it startled me and I was like, whoa. And I had a second question. So I was like, wow, okay, was that God? I don't know. But I know, I had the second question. So I asked the second question, who do you want it to be? And then I heard this other voice that came, I remember it came from this location here, an audible voice that said, Jessica. And it was like, Jessica. Like, it was a different voice. It was a higher pitched voice. And that startled me too. And Jessica, Jessica is, okay, at the time it was very like hard for me, very traumatic, but now thinking about it, it's like, I don't know, I see it totally differently. But Jessica was the twin sister of the girl that I liked. And I remember I walked upstairs and I was walking like as if there was this spiritual world all around me that I had suddenly become aware of, that I wasn't aware of before. That was one thing. The other thing is that I thought to myself, that's got to be God because I was praying to God. And if that's not, but then I thought, if that's God, I don't want anything to do with that because that felt awful. That felt scary. That felt like not good. But I ended up believing that that was God talking to me. And then so long story short, this goes out of the story, but like, because I was believing these voices, it led to this big trouble where I actually told the girl about it. And she obviously thought I was lying. And they told the father and the school and everything and like had me taken out of class and stuff. It was like, at that time it was traumatic. It was traumatic for me. So like, okay, so now here's my input. I've also had some crazy like dreams and stuff after that, but this is my input about this. A lot of Christians think that because you pray to prayer to go to heaven, because you're doing Christian things, that you are that you are saved, right? And like at that time when I saw the first ghosts or whatever, I thought I was saved. I thought, according to Western Christianity, I was a Christian. And if I'm praying to God, it's good. And if I'm um, asking Him for something, it's good. And the time that I spend reading the Bible is always good. It always pleases God. Nobody taught me about heart motive. Nobody taught me about idolatry. Nobody taught me about making something matter more. And and the way I see it now, the way I explain it now is like making the assumption that I don't already have the blessings in life and that I have to like work and use works and be in this place that pretty much God doesn't want us to be in, this place of striving. So the fact that I had these demon encounters when I was supposedly saved, basically I was in a household where there was a lot of disconnect, there was dysfunction, there was hatred, there was a lack of love, and I was in that place. So in that place, and I was full of idolatry, is full of like neediness. So in that place, how can I shine? You know? And so, okay, we go to the Gospels, and what Jesus said, He said, "Many of you will come to me and say, 'Lord, Lord, didn't we drive out demons in your name? Didn't we sing songs to you?'" And He'll say, and He said, "And I will say, I tell you the truth, I never knew you. Go away from me, you evildoers, those who practice evil deeds." So, does that answer the question, like about whether we're saved, whether we if we say this prayer to go to heaven, even though the gospel is about heaven coming into us? Uh, I've been to church. I can guarantee that the people there who are singing songs have said that prayer, but are they living the life? Are they really inviting God into their life? Are they really surrendering, as Jesus said, for us to do, which is an amazing thing? It brings freedom, freedom from sin. Anyway, so yeah, I had these experiences even though I thought I was a Christian at the time. How could I be close to God and yet close to demons? You know, now as I've gotten older, I've experienced like different cultures. I've lived in different countries, and different countries have. I've met people firsthand who have had experiences with the ghosts of their country, and they're believing it because they know no better. We're really like children. You know, imagine that we're like children, and one child, we're all just children, right? And we're groups of children. And one child goes into the forest, and there's these demons, and one demon puts on a mask of like something with red horns, and he goes, "I'm an oni." This is like a Japanese demon, and he goes, "Whoa," and the child runs away, and he tells everybody, "I saw an oni." And then the demons talk together. Okay, these guys are believing in this demon, and this helps them to believe in whatever religion that is not real that we're putting on them. And then like it's like different cultures have these different ghosts, and they've actually seen this stuff. And yet we know that the face of evil has what evil has many faces, right? And so like um yeah, oh geez, okay, what am I talking about? I'm just saying there's one source of evil. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't make sense that there's all these different ghosts. Who do they report to? Are we saying that there's like different like kingdoms of, of demons everywhere? And like, I don't know. I just know what I believe. I just believe there is good and evil. And there's a kingdom of good and a kingdom of evil. There's a king of good and a king of evil. And the Bible says that the devil is a deceiver and a liar. And it's all about deception. And I think that I've also found that I can see a demon and I can hear a demon if I simply let my negative thoughts control me, if I simply listen to the negative thoughts. So I've come to conclude that, like, okay, if I'm looking at a tree and I'm in a mood, you know, we call it mood, it's just you're in a bad mood, right? Okay, let's say I'm believing lies, I'm filled with lies, and I'm very negative, right? I could see a tree and I could see like holes in the tree that look like a face, and I could suspect that this is a demon right now, and this demon could scare me. And I believe that if you do that, you are manifesting a demon, and a demon is going to be there matching your faith. Uh, because our faith is what really matters, what we believe, and so a man thinketh, so he become. I mean, that's not about faith, but like we become what we're believing. And so like The other way is like if I look at a tree and it's just beautiful and I see the creator in this tree, that's the ultimate way to enjoy something, I believe, is to see the creator and the master behind it, the masterful genius behind this creation. Um, it creates a positive like view of life if I'm looking around and I see all I see are creations, and especially a person. If I look at a person and I see the image of God living in them. And anyway, so I think that demons and ghosts, whatever, can be manifested no matter what country or culture you're in, but it's all the same source. It's all from one kingdom, either the light or the dark, right? Yeah, so that's been my encounters. Nothing like that has happened to me. I've had dreams. I've had a psychedelic experience when I was like 34-ish, 34, which I talk about in another video. And I've experienced what hell would feel like, which is like I would never want anyone to experience. It's beyond description. It's beyond description. And I just think if I can experience it in this reality, it must exist. I don't see how, if I can experience something on Earth, that it just cannot exist in the other worlds, in the other reality. A pain that I've experienced that was just like so strong, of loneliness, of isolation, of separation from God, of malevolence, pure hatred from spirits. I talk about this in another video, and it's just I can't. I have a rah. All I can say is gibberish, because it cannot be said in a word. Much like in the gospel, praying in tongues is expressing this joy that cannot be said in words, in human words. It's joy inexpressible. So it's very important to know that the joy that we have in Jesus, that we have in knowing the Father through Jesus, and it outweighs the darkness. And we have to be aware of that, I believe, in order to survive, and not just to survive, but to shine and thrive. We have to have faith in this world of darkness, right? Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Did I miss anything? Let me think, did I miss anything? Give me a sec. You can click away. If the video ends in 10 seconds, you can click away right now. Let me think. Did I miss anything? I heard that. I saw that. See how lazy I am with editing. I'm not going to edit. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye.